friends, welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Melissa and you've found Melissa's Cozy Corner on the corner of YouTube. So I was planning on doing a video of my summer bucket list activities being successfully finished, but unfortunately throughout this week I have been having a really hard time with the heat. I'm somebody who gets really sensitive in heat and gets overheated very quickly, so I am actually out sick today. I ended up getting very sick last night and taking off most of today, just relaxing, trying to rebuild strength, and thought it would be fun to put together a video of fun activities you can do at home while enjoying the summer and not feeling like you've wasted the day. And today is just going to be full of some fun little activities you can do at home. I'm really excited to share these because these are what I've been doing for the past couple weeks at home, just kind of trying to enjoy my summer without being too warm. So today is just going to be a cozy video inside of discussing some fun things that you can do inside, staying cool, not moving around too much. I know that sounds lazy, but it is also very important to listen to your body, make sure you're not overworking yourself in the heat, and just enjoying a day. So step one, I have always a cold pack with me. I know these are great for lunch boxes and stuff, but if you're very sensitive to heat like myself, these are really helpful because they're just great to put on some of your heat spots. So I've heard that putting cold packs and stuff like that on your wrists can lower your temperature a little bit, but I always carry them in a little towel so that way they're not too cold on my body. So step one, I always carry around a little heat pack with me to kind of keep cool while it's too warm. Step two is just wear comfy clothes that are loose and comfortable. I'm wearing my pajamas, but my pajamas are very loose, they're shorts and they're comfortable. So step one, cold pack if you want to have a little nice thing to put on your wrists or your neck to cool down a little bit. Step two, comfy, loose-fitting clothing that's nice and airy and flowy. And step three, some cold things in the kitchen. So let's go ahead and wander into the kitchen and get ourselves some tasty treats to enjoy throughout our cozy, comfy, cool day inside. I don't know about you, but I just start sweating when I do anything, and then my body temperature goes up and I just get so unbearably warm if I do any activity. It's really annoying. Like vacuuming, I'm sweating. Folding laundry, I'm sweating. Anything in the kitchen, I'm sweating. It's just too warm for me. I'm terrible when it gets too hot, and right now it's like 37 degrees Celsius in Germany, and it's just way too warm for me. I don't know how to handle heat like this. I'm used to Washington cold breezes from the ocean, and so I'm just a weakling. I know, I'm sorry. But we move on. We move on and we read. So we find some books that we would like to read this summer, and that's what I've done. So we're gonna go ahead, or I'm gonna go ahead. You can also share books. That's a great idea. If you guys have any summer reads, go ahead and put them in the comments below. I'm looking for some great, cozy, comfy, or thriller reads to read this for the rest of the summer, because we still have summer. So if you have any recommendations, put them in the comments below so that I and other people can read what you recommend. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna list some books that I think I want to finish reading this summer. So the rest of my summer TBR, and then maybe if you guys have some recommendations, I would love to hear them. But let's go ahead and talk about some books I found. I have a little notepad right here, so that's why, or not a notepad, I actually have a Surface. But I have some books listed here. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about them, what they're about, and then make sure I show you a picture of the cover so you can go ahead and find them. I'll also list them in the description below, so if you're interested in getting this as well and reading them with me, I would love that. So let's go ahead and start. These are actually some romances. I'm not a romance reader, but these sounded very cute and just perfect. So the first one is A Pirate's Life for Tea. I just thought that sounded so cute. I'm mostly buying this one off the title, but the story actually sounds really interesting as well. So I found a little summary, and it says, while searching for stolen dragon eggs, nearly engaged couple Kinitha and Raina, I don't know how to pronounce those names. I mostly just make up names in my head when I'm trying to read names I don't know. So, a newly engaged couple find themselves smack dab in the middle of a swashbuckling love story. So I'm not going to go ahead and read the whole summary, but I think this book sounds super adorable. I like the fact that it's about tea. There's another little very important thing about this book. On one side of Siena, a failed farmer turned river pirate. Her booty, wheat, grain, and the occasional jar of imported tea leaves. So, based on the fact that it's not your average pirate story, and I also wanted to read a pirate story this year, so I think this is going to be absolutely perfect and right up my alley because it sounds cozy, and I'm always looking for a love story that I want to read. So I'm excited for this one. If you want to read along with me, let me know in the comments below. I think it'd be great to kind of have a little tummy book club, but if not, I'd be happy to share how I thought of the book afterwards. So that's book number one. Another one I'm going to be reading that's kind of like, if you haven't heard of it, there's a booktube kind of community that works on Summerween. It's celebrating Halloween in summer, and I didn't find this book because of that, the booktubers that celebrate Summerween, but because I have been hearing about it and stuff like that. There was a book I actually ran across or stumbled across called A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. This sounds interesting. Not a trope that I would normally read, but a book that I think sounds quite cute and adorable and perfect for summer because it takes place in summer, but is Halloween related because we got witches and demons. But I'll go ahead and read a little line from this book so that way we all know what it's about. Mariel Spark is prophesied to be the most powerful witch seen in centuries of famed Spark family, but to the displeasure of her mother, she prefers baking to brewed potions and gardening to casting hexes. When a spell to summon flower goes very wrong, Mariel finds herself staring down a demon, one she inadvertently summoned for a soul bargain. So, baking, I'm a baker, I love to bake, and then we got a witch who loves to bake and loves to garden. So yes, I would love to cast some spells in my life and some tasty potions that could let me deal with this heat. I don't have that ability, but I do have the ability to bake and garden. So she's won my interest, and this does sound like a trope of lovers to haters, but, sorry, haters to lovers, enemies to lovers, enemies to lovers. What are haters to lovers? That sounds terrible. Enemies to lovers sounds actually kind of the same, but a trope I normally don't like, but a book that sounds very interesting to me, so I'm excited to read this one. I think it's going to sound really cute, and I'm very curious if I'm going to like it or not. But the synopsis sounds really adorable, so that's another book I'm looking at reading. I'm finding a lot of books that are kind of fantasy-y, because the next one is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. This just sounds really cute, and Encyclopedia of Fairies, I was just like, oh, okay. I really like fairies. Who doesn't like fairies? Okay, correction. I really like fairies. I don't like those weird love romance about men who are tall, dark, and handsome and are fairies, but just are tall, dark, and handsome men with wings. So it's like every love story, but you just put wings on the guy. Sorry. I would rather read about tall, dark, and handsome crappy romances than them with just wings on it. So make it a true fairy romance and don't just make it a, yeah. My opinion though, if you like those books, good for you. I just wasn't able to fall in love with them. They're just not my type of book. However, this one does sound interesting, and it could also fall into the same land of tall, dark, and handsome guy with fairy wings. We don't know. But I'll go ahead and read you a little sentence from the synopsis. Emily Wilde is not good at people. She could never make small talk at a party or even get invited to one, and she prefers the company of her books, her dog Shadow, and the fair folk to other people. So when she arrives in the hardscrabble village of Franksvik, this town, Emily has no intention of befriending the gruff townsfolk, nor does she care to spend time with another new arrival, her dashing and insufferable handsome academic rival, Wendell Bumble. I almost said Bumblebee, but it's Bumblebee. It's this word. It's this name. But it sounds like Bumblebee. I'd probably read a Bumblebee every time I read it in the book. Who manages to charm the townsfolk, get in the middle of Emily's research, utterly confound and frustrate her. But as Emily gets closer and closer to uncovering the secret of the hidden ones, the most elusive of all fairies, lurking in the shadowy forest outside the town, she also finds herself on the tail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bumblebee? And what does he really want? So I read a little bit more than I was planning to, but I felt like this one was harder to get the grasp of what the story was about. So it actually has fairies in it. It actually sounds interesting in the sense of fairies. I'm not really interested in the love story part of it, but I think the fairy part is going to be very interesting. And I really like that when authors describe fairies really in detail. My sister had this book when I was a kid, and I thought this book was amazing, and I thought about buying it again. It's this book. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I'll put it right here so we all know. And I loved this book because it was just a book of squished fairies. Like, it was like the author caught a fairy and squished it in the book, and it was so cute. Kind of morbid, but I just thought it was really interesting. So I've actually thought about buying this book again. I've added it to my wish list, but I haven't made the step to get it. But I really like when fairies are described or magical creatures are described. It creates this wonderful imagery in my head, and I think it's just absolutely magical. That's actually the only reason I'm interested in reading this book, is because I'm interested in how the fairies are described. I am not interested in a love story in this one like the other two. Okay, I have one more book that's not a love story, that's actually kind of more, I would say, heart-wrenching, but it sounds really captivating and like a book that I would enjoy. I don't know why I put it on my summer TBR, but it's on my summer TBR because I said it is. We all get to choose what we want to read. So this one's Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. I hope I said that right. So this is an emotional, layered, and engrossing story of a family that asks, can love make a broken person whole? I'm going to leave it to that because that was actually the sentence that captivated me to want to read this story. I find stories like this very captivating and very interesting and very telling of a person, and also very telling of the person who's reading the story. Not to judge anybody who reads certain books, but I think understanding love and understanding heartbreak and understanding just life in general can be very difficult. So sometimes reading about those types of stories can be very eye-opening, I guess, or at least can open little doors in our own mind to kind of peek into some of the things that maybe don't make sense for us, maybe in other people's lives or even in our own lives. And so just that one sentence captivated me and made me want to read the story. So this one's going to be probably a little bit more difficult to read in the sense of theme and something that I think I would really enjoy. So I got 3 fantasy novels and then 1 serious novel. And I'm interested in reading all 4 of these. These are kind of my summer, end of summer TBR, so ones I hope to read before the end of summer. I have quite a few other books that are also on my list, like Yellowface, and I picked up another novel recently, The 7 Moons of Molly, this book. I can't remember the name of the character. And then some other novels. I'll put them in the description below if you're interested in what else I'm reading. But these 4 I feel like are perfect for summer. So I'm going to read these 4 because I want to. Or at least I'm going to try to. I can't say I'm going to. I'm going to try to read them. And if you have read any of these, I'd be curious as to what your opinion are on them, or what is on your summer reading list. So, enough about books. Let's actually go ahead and read. I'm finishing a book right now, Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I started this, I think, a week and a half ago. I'm not loving it. I just don't think it's really my type of story, but I would like to finish it before I start something else. So I'm going to go ahead and continue reading that today to cool off. I have my ice pack here because honestly, sitting in front of the camera and talking is making me very warm. So I'm going to go ahead and cuddle up on the sofa with my ice pack without a blanket, which is really hard for me. I love cuddling with a blanket. But we're going to go ahead and wander over into the living room and sit on the sofa, read a little bit, and then do some other activities. I'm excited to share them with you. I'm going to keep it kind of a surprise for you as the video continues. If you want to, though, you can just check the chapters down below and it'll all be there. But let's go ahead and get some reading done, because I would like to finish this book to start a new one soon. Maybe one of these ones that are on my reading list. really doing much today. I'm sweaty, it's hot. I know I've complained about the heat already, but I'm honest. I'm a baby in the heat. I would rather prefer like high 20s, like I could handle that, but when it gets up to the high 30s, it is just way too warm for me, and it sucks. Because I really wish I could like love the temperature and enjoy it at all times, but it's just not for me, and that's okay. We can still do some fun things like I showed you throughout the video. So I hope you guys actually enjoyed all those activities. I know some of them you can do at home, some of them you might have to get some kind of craft supplies, but I found most of this stuff on Amazon. I don't love supporting Amazon, but they are convenient, especially here in Germany where I can't get some of my stuff at the local craft store. So I have to order some things online, and I was able to work on some of these activities throughout the day. Some of these have been on my like want to do list for quite some time, so I'm happy I've actually finally been able to do them. Like these picture frames. I think they're so gorgeous, but I didn't want to spend the money to buy them online. So I thought, I'll try to do it at home, and they actually turned out really cute. I also saw this one woman, I'll list her name in the description below because I don't know it off the top of my head. I found her on Instagram, and she turns bridal bouquets into these beautiful art pieces. So I think that's amazing, and I couldn't do that, so she would definitely be somebody I would contact to do that kind of thing. But something small for my wall, it was kind of fun to do, and I probably won't do all the time, and I wouldn't say no if I were to buy one in the future. It's just I want to try it out. And then also making bookmarks, that was actually really nice. I got to be able to paint and draw a little bit. Working on puzzles. If you're interested to see how far I get in that puzzle, I would follow me on Instagram because I'll probably post kind of updates on how far I get in the puzzle. I think that's going to be later on this evening. I'm going to work on that more with my partner, and we're going to watch a movie and stay cool with our ice packs. And yeah, I thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you guys have also come up with some activities you can do. Sorry, I'm on a swivel chair, so if you see me swiveling back and forth, it's just because I'm on a swivel chair. And I swivel back and forth. But if you guys have activities you enjoy doing inside when it's warm, too warm outside, let me know in the comments below. I'm sure other people would love to know some other activities they can do. I know there's hundreds of them, but sometimes it's so hard to think of just one when YouTube or Netflix is just sitting right there on the big black screen. So go ahead and share your thoughts down below. Go ahead and share if you found something new on this video and thought, that might be kind of fun to do. Or if you do any of these activities, like if you're building a puzzle, or if you decide to make a bookmark or put flowers into a picture frame, go ahead and take a picture and send it to me on Instagram. I would love to see what you guys are working on. Also, tell me about your books and all the other fun stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go because my cooling pack is getting too warm and I need a new one, and it's too warm in here for me. I'm in my office and it's like a little sauna in this room. But I hope you guys have a fantastic day. You enjoy the heat, but you also take care of yourself. Drink enough water. Make sure you're not running around like a maniac. And taking care of yourself and taking care of your body and mind. I hope you have a fantastic day, a wonderful middle of July. Beginning of July? We're like in the middle now. I think we're coming to the middle because it's like the 13th, I think. And I will talk to you guys soon and next week. Ciao!